Hello everybody and welcome to the prop shop. I am Bill Duran and I am here with a really fun little project that I did this week. Now I know a lot of you guys have been playing a lot of Fallout 4 because I have been playing a lot of Fallout 4, and if you, like me, got the Pipboy edition, then you got a really cool toy that came along with your video game. Now I gotta say, as far as collector's edition toys or props that come with video games, this one is actually pretty good. It's the right size, it fits on my arm. My only real complaint is the paint job, or lack thereof. It's really just kind of bare plastic. That will not stand, not in this household, damn it. Those of you who have been watching the channel know that I am no stranger to repaints. A while ago, I did a Nerf repaint video, so I decided that, of course, I would repaint my Pipboy. Let's get started. First, I had to take the whole thing apart. I shot video of this both for you to watch, but also so that I knew how to put it back together again, which is a really good idea if you're doing this sort of job at home and you have to take a lot of parts off of your thing when you're going to repaint it. Just shoot a video of yourself doing it so you know how to put it back together again. Once everything was apart, I could sand it. This type of plastic usually doesn't like to take paint, especially when it's all shiny. So everything got sanded, and I even cut off the fake screws that came on this thing. Then I drilled out where those screws were, and I plan on putting real screws there once the thing was all painted. The only part I decided to keep with the original color was the white part. That white plastic actually looks pretty good, so I masked it off. Then everything got base coated in a Krylon Fusion, I believe it was a satin black color. Krylon does a pretty good job of bonding to this plastic, so I use it kind of like a primer. Some of the little parts on this needed to stay black, so I masked them off with some masking tape before painting the rest of the base coat layers on. Then I used a jet exhaust acrylic paint color to spray most of the base coat on this guy. I also used a gunmetal for some of the more silvery looking parts. When I was happy with the amount of color I got on there, I could remove the mask on those black parts. Now I wanted them to be a little bit more than just black. So utilizing a technique I learned from my buddy Harrison over at Vulpin Props, I brushed on a bunch of graphite powder to give it a little bit more of a cool sheen on there. Now this would have worked better if I had used a flat black paint, but it did okay on the satin as well. When I sanded the Pipboy, all of the text that was on there got removed, and of course I painted over all of it. So I had to add the text back in. Now I've done stencil videos before. In fact, there's one right here. You can go check it out. For this one, I cut out a bunch of little text pieces with my vinyl cutter, and I used that vinyl as a stencil. Then all I had to do was airbrush a little gold paint on there, peel it away, and that reveals a wonderful looking machined text look below. Then I put everything back together. Again, this is where having a video of yourself taking it apart can be really helpful. Fortunately, when I was done, there were no extra parts or screws lying around, so it all worked out really great. Then I went in and added all of those real screws that I was talking about earlier. These really help give it more of a real feel using actual hardware. Then I wanted this thing to look really, really rusty, like actually rusty and dirty, like it's been in the wasteland for a long time. So I used a system of paints by Sculpt Nouveau that includes a paint with metal in it and a patina solution that will rust that metal. For this guy, I brushed the paint on anywhere that I wanted it to look rusty, and then before that paint had a chance to dry, I sprayed it with a patina solution. Then all you have to do is let it sit for a couple hours and it'll turn into a real crusty rust. This technique works really well if you layer it a bit. Have fun with it. Add rust here, there, a little bit there, and spray it with that stuff, let it wait, because over time, the rust actually matures and turns a variety of colors. I also wanted it to look dirty on top of that rust, so I used some oil-based paints to go in and brush over all of the creases and seams, and then I would just use a rag and wipe most of it away. I really like these oil paints for this. If you have the time to let it dry, because it does take forever to dry, this stuff is really awesome. You have a ton of working time, it gets kind of smeary and greasy, so for anything mechanical like this, it's hard to go wrong with some good oil paints. After that, some of the areas needed just a little bit of silver. I used some silver rub and buff and a Q-tip to touch them up. And I basically just went over the whole thing with all of these different techniques until I was really happy with the finish. Finally, the Pipboy came with a little card that it's got the decals you need on it for the screen. I just taped a piece of plastic to the front of it and jammed it in there, and it looks all right. This is something I may reinvestigate in the future, maybe put a glowing screen in there. We'll see. And voila, that's it. I could clear coat all of this. I'm gonna wait for all of the oil paints to dry before I do that. Maybe a thin lacquer, like a matte lacquer on there or something. We'll see, but for now, I'm really happy with how it turned out. All the knobs still work, all the lights, look at that. Hey, all the lights still work, and this is a really, really great piece. I don't know if I'm gonna wear it while I play Fallout. The controller, the PlayStation controller works just fine, but it's probably gonna sit on the TV stand so I can see it while I'm playing. Thank you guys for checking out my repaint video. I've got a bunch of other videos of me painting props, like the Nerf Mod I did a while back and a couple others over there. Feel free to go check those out. And of course, you should join in and paint your Pipboy. All of the materials and paints and tools that I use will be linked down below if you'd like to join in on the fun. That's it from the prop shop. Get out there and paint something. Yeehaw!